Poll question, McLovin, is...
If they made sports gambling legal, would you try it, or would you avoid it, or would you bet more? It depends if you already bet.
Okay.
I think that it would expand my betting.
Let's assume you don't bet.
Yeah, okay. No betting right now.
Yeah.
You're not in Las Vegas.
Yeah. So legally and easily, you can place a bet. You can go to a casino if you want to, or you can maybe go to the venue itself and place a bet. I don't know if they're going to allow you to bet $20,000 on a game, but there would be something that's capped, I'm going to guess. Put down your credit card. You have to have an ID. No money's exchanged there. Or do you have to have money exchanged so it's not on a credit card? I'm not sure how they'll do it. I know the NBA has been all in on this, and it's just a matter of, New Jersey's lawyers, they're challenging the constitutionality. It's called the Professional and Amateur Sports Protection Act. The federal statute was implemented back in 1992, made gambling on pro and collegiate athletics illegal in all states but Nevada, Delaware, Montana, and Oregon. Those 4 states had legal sports wagering at the time, so they were grandfathered in. New Jersey is arguing that the interpretation of the 10th Amendment makes it illegal for the federal government to force certain states to adhere to regulations while exempting others, allowing some states to benefit from the rights that others do not have. So if Vegas can have this, why can't New Jersey? And it should be noted, the Supreme Court has cited the 10th Amendment 4 times in its 229-year history in overturning federal laws. Do I think it's going to happen? Yes. There's so much money, and it feels like the leagues are all bracing for this. We have sports now, and professional sports in Las Vegas. Remember when that was not even on the table? They're not even entertaining that. Now it's not a big deal. You got a successful hockey team there. You got the Raiders going there. The injury reports, we know what the injury reports are for, so you don't get inside information. Let's just put all the information out there so somebody is not paying off somebody for inside information. That would help them with their bet. You have this in the Premier League where you're able to go to a venue and bet. If it's monitored, and this is the great thing about Vegas, it's not these offshore bookies. I worry about that. Vegas is going to regulate this. Vegas keeps an eye on this. Vegas has to do it. And when they see something happen, kind of a blip in a betting line, they just take it off the board. That's what you need. And it's, you're not going to have some loan shark. You're not getting in. You have to have your money up front if you're going to bet. And I've gambled before where I was down, I think, $1,700, and I didn't have $1,700. Now, could it have gotten ugly? I'm going to guess. Because the guy I bet through, had a book through somebody else, and then that guy had a guy in New York. I didn't know this till it was all done, when I finally got out of it. But when you have this in these states and you have to go and you put your money down, this is how you gamble. It's monitored. You have you have to be 21 years of age. It's going to happen. There's so much money here. You're going to have advertising on jerseys, on all of these sports. We talked about this years ago, and you're going to have legalized gambling. To what degree, I don't know. Then, the NFL can't act like, they're not all in on this. Everybody wants to know what they're getting. All of these leagues want to know, how big a piece do I get? Because I've never met a billionaire who goes, I got way too much money. The last thing I need is some more money here. Yeah, Paulie.
You're a former gambler. I gambled a little bit in college. Rarely do people gamble a little. Do you fear that young people will get into gambling because it's so easy to access and become hooked in a bad way?
Yeah.
That's my biggest fear.
Yes. But you can only bet what you have.
But if you're a college kid, you get one of those Visa credit cards where they front you all that money and you are 21 and you start gambling without your parents' oversight. That's the age group that will.
I don't like it. I don't like the fact that it could be that easy to do it because I know that I was in hook, line, and sinker. I was in deep. But I ended up winning. But I was in a bad position there for a little while, and I didn't know how I'd pay it, and I never told my family. You could get into that because everybody thinks they're smarter than these guys, the sharps. And I did too. And all of a sudden, you double up. You lose 2 games. I'd lose the 1 o'clock and the 4 o'clock, and I'd double up on the Monday night game. That's not a good philosophy. And I even had my bookie who would say, you know, you might not want to bet this week. No, I got it. You know, that would be the only thing that would concern me is once you get in and you win that first time, you win at the buzzer, you know, the final seconds, man, it's a high. But when you start to lose, then you get really stupid. Yeah, McLevin.
But isn't all sorts of illegal betting already happening? I mean,
Yes.
that's why these lines. So isn't it better to monitor it? Because I feel like college kids have pretty easy access to bookies.
Okay, but how are you monitoring this? If I go to the casino and it's legal and it's close by and I can just say, you know, the Titans are playing the Browns, I'm going to throw a dime on this.
Because you can at least maybe limit the size of bets, whereas bookies you can't. And also, if you lose all your money, you're going bankrupt legally instead of getting your knees broken.
Yeah, but I get credit with a bookie. A credit does, you know, a bookie doesn't want you to stop.
No.
They want, yeah, you know what? I'll let you slide this week.
Maybe Vegas has a tighter limit than a bookie. Maybe like a legalized gambling is a little bit safer for these kids who are sort of floating out there. I have no idea. I don't know how you bet. I mean, but doesn't a bookie come down to crime at some point? Couldn't they rough you up if you didn't pay? That's not going to happen.
I don't know. I mean, my bookie wouldn't have because he was a professional in another job. Like he had a great job in the community. And then the guy who went to jail, I think, with the Pete Rose betting, that's the guy who my bookie would sometimes take action from. So he'd sometimes say, you know, hey, I'd always say, what's Pete Rose betting on? Because I'd always go the other way. And then he'd always say, you know, he'd say, you know, he really likes, and then he just said, Pete's so bad at gambling. But this guy lived in Indian Hills, and he would be the book. And then I think the guy above him was in New York. So I'm going to guess it didn't take long to get to somebody who may have a problem with you. Yeah, Paul.
But you remember in college, Dan, you had to seek out a bookie or have a friend to introduce you to one. They weren't just standing on the corner looking for your business. It's a process to find someone. And I think the average person in college may not pursue it. But if it's on your computer screen with ads, one click away, one credit card number away, the entry to it is so easy for younger people.
Yeah. If you cap it at the stadium, you know, almost make that a reason to go to the game is you can go watch and have a theater, like a betting parlor there. But, you know, the most we're going to take is $500 on a game or $1,000 on a game. You know, whatever those side bets are, I don't know. It's just happening because there's so much money. And here's New Jersey, and I think New Jersey has a great case. When you're saying, you know, why are they getting, it's almost like somebody gets benefits in college. When an athlete gets benefits in college and the other students didn't get it. These other states got benefits and the other states are saying, why don't we get this? Why are you allowing them? Well, they grandfathered them in 1993. Yeah, McLevin.
Some of this is already happening. I haven't told you guys this, but there's Bill Simmons on his podcast was advertising this betting website. So I tried it this football season just for fun. I put in $100 to see where I could go. And I kept it at that. And I'm amazing at going exactly 50-50 in betting, if you want to be the line. So I ended up losing like $40 or something. But there is a lot of online gambling already going on. That I don't know how much. Less than there was 10 years ago, but it's happening.
Well, there's also the 10% VIG, too.
Right. That's why I was losing. I was coming in right at exactly the line. So I thought I pretty quickly knew I wasn't smarter than the line. The line is crazy.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. They
sure do.
They keep building buildings out there. They're not taking them down in Vegas.
No casinos out of business.
No. I mean, in Jersey, but that could be bad management there. But in Vegas, they keep building those.
But there's all these NFL writers who do these picks columns, and they're smart guys. I know them, and I've edited them before, but there's just no way you're going to beat them.
If it was their money, how would they pick? Like you can go willy-nilly and go, I'm going to take the Browns +7. If it's your money, it's completely different. And that's why when people say, hey, who do you like? And I never want to give advice on gambling because nobody ever gives me anything when I win, and they only blame me when they lose. How could you thought that, and I'm like, I would tell people right now, don't gamble. But that's why fantasy is so big, and there's money attached to fantasy. Whatever way you can get around that, that's what they're trying to do.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.